Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with SureCall. Today's host is Dustin McElprang, and he is their Executive Account Manager. Dustin will be presenting today, and if anyone has any questions, he will be sure to answer them at the end of today's presentation. Dustin, thank you so much for being with us. We're looking forward to your presentation, and go ahead and start on with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julie. And thank you, everybody, for attending today's webinar. Hopefully, we'll have some information in here that is either new or that is a refresher for you when it comes to cell phone signal boosters. So just to kind of review the agenda we're going to go over, we're going to touch base on who SureCall is to start off with, as well as what a cell phone signal booster is and how they work. I know many of you may already be familiar with this, but it's always great to do a refresher. And in case there's anybody new on today, we want to make sure that they know exactly what a signal booster is and how they work. We're then going to go in and talk about some of our vehicle booster series. We'll review some of the benefits and features, and then I'll be sure to save some time at the end for any questions. So SureCall was founded in 2001. We are headquartered in Fremont, California. And for the first half of our existence, we focus primarily on commercial signal boosters, right? These are boosters that are used in large buildings. And only in the last about 5 to 10 years have we focused on consumer or residential boosters, which is what we're going to be talking about today. We pride ourselves in being first to market innovators. There's several patents that we own and many that are currently pending or published. As well, as you can see, there's many awards we've won, with the most recent actually being last month, where we were awarded the PC Mag's Editor's Choice Award. And we're going to talk about that product that received that award in just a minute. So why SureCall? I wanted to review some of the features that are unique to SureCall products. The first one is all of our products have what is called SureIQ. In a traditional signal booster, and again, we're going to review what a signal booster does, but if there's too much power coming from the cell phone tower, the booster will shut off. Well, with SureIQ, it ensures that the boosters stay on and stay going. All of our boosters have what's called auto gain adjustments. As well, all of our boosters are FCC and IC certified. And SureCall is actually proud to own the 5-band patent and be the first to come out with a 5-band signal booster. And basically what that means is our boosters will cover all 3G and 4G networks or any service that is currently being used across all of the United States currently, minus 5G. Regarding 5G, we actually were the first to announce the 5G signal booster. This signal booster is industrial only right now, but we are working on a line of consumer and residential signal boosters as well. And then our products are all assembled in the USA. So before we talk about what a signal booster does, let's talk about why a signal booster is needed. For one, a signal booster is needed to prevent dropped calls, to increase data speeds for use of internet and emails. This is particularly important for folks who live in rural America, where they may not have high-speed internet available. A signal booster is going to extend the fringe area, whether you live and your house is located on a fringe area, or maybe you have a customer who travels a lot. The signal booster is going to be sure that they stay connected as far into that out of network area as possible. And then obviously a signal booster is needed to provide a reliable means of communication for people who only rely on cell phones for communication. When we talk about signal booster, there's 3 main reasons why people experience weak cell phone signal. One is distance from the tower. I think we've all probably experienced that at some point or another. If you're just so far away, the signal just can't get to you. The next is terrain, whether it's a valley like this, or whether it's mountains, trees, or even other buildings. Those are all things that are going to block signal and make it difficult to reach your cell phone. And then building materials, right? In today's world, all of the homes, all of the buildings are focused on being energy efficient. And so as we continue to focus on being energy efficient, we're making it more difficult for cell signal to enter the buildings. So these are, again, the 3 main reasons why somebody might experience a weak cell phone signal. So now let's look about how a cell phone signal booster works. In this diagram you'll see here, you've got the cell tower on the left that's sending out the signal. Obviously, the closer to the tower, the better the signal is going to be. So whether you live in the fringe area where signal just can't quite, that's not powerful enough to enter your home, or based on the structure of your home, only a little bit of signal is entering, SureCall signal boosters are there to help. What we do is we take that outside signal, boost it, and bring it inside. So with any of SureCall booster systems, whether they are in-home units or, as we're going to talk about today, our vehicle boosters, there's going to be three main components. Those components are the outside antenna that you see on the top of this roof. That antenna is what communicates to the cell phone tower, grabs that signal, brings it inside the home through coax cable to the second component, the second main component, which is the booster located on the wall. And then that booster will amplify, increase that signal, and then send it through more coax cable to an inside antenna. And this inside antenna is what communicates to your phones, to your air cards, any cellular device that you might have. And then the process is reversed. The same goes for cars. Again, whether you are in the fringe area and the cell tower just doesn't quite have enough power to give you a reliable signal, or if you have a car with a metal chassis, metal body, you've got tinted windows, all of those things combine to limit the amount of cell phone signal that can enter a car and thus affecting the cell phone signal. So which product is right for you and for your customers? Before we get into that, I actually wanted to touch base on, again, our Flare 3.0, which is the product that won PC Mag's Editor's Choice Award. A few benefits on the Flare 3.0. This is a system designed for homes and small offices. You can expect up to 3,000 square feet of coverage from our Flare 3.0. This is going to be best for people who live in rural and suburban areas. And the reason I say that is because it includes a Yagi external antenna. In that picture, that's that white cylindrical or triangular shaped antenna. This is a directional antenna that does great at reaching the tower, especially in those rural areas, and grabbing that signal. The Flare 3.0 is future-proof, meaning it will work on all cellular devices, even all 5G phones, on the 4G network. And I'm sure there will be a question on that, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit on what we mean when it says future-proof. Some of the unique features on the Flare 3.0 is, for one, its modern design and look. Right, you've got the outside antenna, coax cable coming into the home, and then this silver body is what would be sitting on a bookshelf or on a shelf. It doesn't look bad. Again, we've tried to focus that modern look to make it to where it wasn't an eyesore to people. As well, the Flare 3.0 contains SureCall's 2XP technology. This is what the booster uses to get that signal back to the cell tower. It has 72 decibels of gain. It has that same automatic gain adjustment that I mentioned at the beginning, as well as lifetime tech support and a 3-year warranty on all parts. Now let's get into the purpose and the main portion of the presentation, which is the vehicle market. When we look at the vehicle market, there's a lot of areas this covers. Everything from truck drivers to fleet managers, outdoorsmen, travelers, even the first responders, whether they're police, fire, or ambulance, as well as the people who have to commute to and from work who might, at some point in their day, travel through a fringe area or an area where there's low signal. I wanted to jump in now and talk about the main assortment of our vehicle signal boosters. And we'll start from the bottom and kind of work our way up. Our first booster, which is our entry-level booster, is called our InRange 2.0. The InRange 2.0 retails for $199, and some of its benefits and features are listed here. For one, and something I want to point out, is this is a single-user device, meaning the user has to have their phone in that cradle that you see for it to receive any boosted signal. Once the phone is removed, it will not boost the signal, and that is designed that way. The Flare 3.0 is very quick and easy to install. It's got the outside antenna that you see, that shark fin antenna. It grabs the signal. Again, as I mentioned, brings it into the car, to the cradle. The cradle is what will actually boost the signal and send the signal to your phone. As well, something with that cradle, compared to our old model, this one does come with a ball joint attachment, and it just provides a little bit more ease of use for the user. The next product in our vehicle booster line is our Fusion Go 3.0. This one retails for $399.99, and unlike the InRange 2.0 that only supports one user, the Fusion Go 3.0 will actually support multiple users at the same time. This is actually one of our most powerful vehicle boosters, and again, it will boost voice, text, and 4G LTE signals for all North American carriers. As well, it is 5G compatible, meaning it will boost 4G LTE on all 5G phones and devices. And like our Flare 3.0, it also contains our 2XP technology, which again is what the booster uses to send the signal back to the cell tower, right? Most often when you experience dropped calls, it's not because the tower can't get the signal to you, and sometimes it is, but oftentimes it's just your phone can't send the signal back to the tower because your phone is operating at less than half of a watt, actually closer to a quarter of a watt, whereas all SureCall signal boosters will operate at the FCC allowed 1 watt. And again, with our our Fusion Go 3.0, it is assembled and tested here in the United States. The next item in our line is our Fusion Go Fleet. This one retails for $439.99. This is actually very similar to our Fusion Go 3.0. The only difference is instead of a magnetic mount antenna that goes on top, this one includes an NMO or non-magnetic option for the antenna, otherwise known as a permanent mount antenna. This is the type of antenna you're going to see on fleet vehicles, maybe police cars, first responders, something that requires a hole be drilled in the top. For the common commuter, this wouldn't be the option because most people don't want to drill a hole in the top of their car. But for those agencies or people who need that, right, they want the assurance of a permanent mount antenna, a cleaner look. This is a great booster for all fleet, and again for anybody who's looking for that clean install look. Going on to the next one in our alignment, we have our Fusion Go Max. This product retails for $499.99. The Fusion Go Max is actually our most powerful vehicle signal booster, as well as it will support the largest amount of simultaneous users. This one is a little bit unique, a little bit different. A few things I want to point out with it is it has what we call our extended range technology, or our ERT. And what this does is it offers the fastest data speeds as well as allows the longest reach to the cell tower. And it does this with that outside antenna. When you're in a rural area using your cell phone will revert to transmitting over the low frequencies. The reason this happens is because those are the frequencies that travel the farthest. And so with our Fusion Go Max, that outside shark fin antenna that you see, which again is magnetic mount, it will grab those low frequencies and boost them right away in that antenna. So there's actually power going over the coax to that outside antenna, so that those low frequencies that matter most are being boosted right away. The signal is then brought inside the vehicle, just like typical to the booster. It's going to be located under the seat or hidden away. And then that's where the booster will boost the higher frequencies should those be used. And then obviously you've got that small, what we call a Hershey bar antenna. It's very thin patch antenna, and that's what communicates to your phones. And then with our Fusion Go Max, right, as the same with our other products, the process is reversed. Your phone communicates to the antenna, goes through the booster, and that outside antenna will boost it back. But with our Fusion Go Max, because of that, the unique feature, that extended range technology that's found in that outside antenna, that signal will actually be boosted right at the last second that it leaves the booster, which again is what's going to allow fast data speeds and allow you to travel farther away from the cell tower and still have the power to get the signal back to the tower. going on, we have, and this is the last item that we'll discuss in our vehicle line of products. That is our Fusion Go 3.0 RV. This item retails for $449.99, and as its name implies, it's designed for use in RVs and campers. This is going to be ideal for cross-country travelers or for those who use cell phones in weak areas, even in like a mobile command center. Unlike our other vehicle products that use a magnetic mount antenna, except our fleet that uses that NMO, the Fusion Go 3.0 RV uses that white cylindrical omnidirectional antenna. This is designed to be mounted on the back of an RV or a camp trailer, or again, any kind of mobile command center that a number of first responders might use. And that's the antenna that will grab the signal, bring it inside the RV or camper, and then broadcast it. And then instead of a separate inside antenna, that whip style antenna that you see attached to the booster is what is responsible for communicating that signal to the cellular devices. Because of the antenna use on this booster, it's actually designed to create a little bit more coverage area, right? Something like this would not work in a car or a truck because the outside antenna and the inside antenna, they need to be a certain amount of separation between the two of them. So in a car and a truck, that would be hard to accomplish, but in an RV or a camper, you can get that separation, and this booster, again, is designed to boost the entire inside of an RV or camper. As well, like our other products, this includes our 2XP technology. It's assembled and tested in the US, and as well, it is future-proof, or in other words, it will work on all 5G phones that might come out. Now, as we look at the SureCall mobile boosters, right, there are 5 that we reviewed, and you might have different customers, or you yourself might be looking at which one is best for your use. And even though we've kind of already reviewed that, I wanted to go over this one more time. So for cars or trucks, we would recommend either our InRange 2.0, our Fusion Go 3.0, or our Fusion Go Max signal boosters. These are going to be the easiest. They all include a magnetic mount antenna that goes on top. They are all very simple, very easy to install, and can very easily be moved from one vehicle to the next vehicle. For fleet vehicles, this includes semi-trucks, public safety vehicles, ambulances, etc. We would recommend either the Fusion Go 3.0 or the Fusion Go Max, again, based on just their power and their great performance, or obviously the Fusion Go 3.0 fleet, given that it has the non-magnetic option for the outside antenna. And then last, for our RVs, campers, and mobile command centers, we would recommend either the Fusion Go 3.0 RV or that Fusion Go 3.0 fleet. Something to point out, right? The InRange or the Fusion Go 3.0 or even the Fusion Go Max, those ones that have the magnetic mount antennas, they need to be on something metal. And so obviously those would not work in an RV or in a camper that has either fiberglass or plastic or some kind of composite top that would prevent that antenna from sticking to it. And so again, for those situations and use cases, we recommend the Fusion Go 3.0 RV or the Fusion Go Fleet. So whether you are a traveler, whether you are a businessman or a businesswoman who's commuting and need to be on that very important conference call, or whether you're going on vacation with the family and want to keep the kids entertained, SureCall has you covered with our full line of cell phone signal boosters. As well, again, we're always trying to innovate, always looking at the next best version of our own products. And so we are continually trying to reinvent the wheel, coming out with new and better products, and that will include soon a line of products for 5G signal boosters. As always, I wanted to provide you guys with my contact information. If you have any questions, if any customers have any questions, please copy this down. Do not hesitate to reach out to me via my email address or even my mobile line. I'm always more than willing to take any calls, answer any questions, help you understand better how SureCall signal boosters work and what might be best for you or your customers. And with that, Julie, that wraps up my presentation. I'm going to turn the time back over to you for any questions. Oh, Julie?
Dustin, thank you so much. Hello?
There you are.
Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. It looks like I do have some questions here for you. Let's go ahead and get started with the first one. Question here says, if I have a room within a property that needs both to receive a better signal and transmit a better signal from that same location, what do you recommend? Do I buy two systems?
Great question. So all of our boosters are actually designed to do both that, to both receive and transmit the signal and boost it at the same time. So whether you're looking at that Flare 3.0 that was the winner of the PC Mag Editor's Choice, or any of our vehicle boosters where you might be traveling in that low fringe area, they're all going to do just that. It's going to boost the signal on the receive, as well as going to boost the signal on the transmit going back to the cell tower.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Dustin. Next question here for you. Do you have anything that can run via battery, so that battery of the vehicle is when it's turned off?
Okay. That is also a good question. This is actually something that we get often, where you might have somebody who, we get it with a lot of outdoorsmen or people who want to do a lot of hiking. They want to carry some kind of battery pack and be able to stay connected out as they're out in the hills. But in the case of this question regarding the vehicles, we do not have anything that specifically runs on battery alone. It does need to be hooked up or plugged into some kind of battery source, whether that is the car's battery. And all of our power supplies do have an on and off switch so that it's not draining the battery when the vehicle's turned off. But that is a good question, and it is something to be aware of. Oftentimes, a lot of people won't realize that. And again, it does need to be plugged in. We do offer hardwire kits. What that does is that frees up your cigarette lighter inside your car, so you don't have this plugged in. And if it's done by a professional installer or somebody who knows what they're doing, they can access the wiring system of your car and hardwire the booster system directly to the battery.
Excellent. Thank you, Dustin. Next question here for you. Are all of the devices provisioned for 5G already, or are they still 4G supported when we purchase them?
That is a great question, and I know that I made several references to 5G ready, or more so 5G phone ready, future proof is what we like to call it. All of our products, let's say you go out and you buy a 5G phone, or you live in an area where there's 5G signal, our boosters will still work on the 4G LTE networks. Something I want to point out with 5G, although it is great and it is going to be very fast, there are a lot of hurdles when it comes to 5G. And particularly because of the high millimeter wave that 5G signals are transmitted on, that signal does not travel far, nor does it propagate well. And so even if you are a block away from a 5G tower and you're inside your home that has low E-glass, that signal will have a very, very, very difficult time entering your home. I mention that because a lot of people who live in rural areas or suburban areas tend to be very concerned on 5G, as they should be, right? Again, it is the newest and the best technology coming out from the cell phone carriers. However, given the hurdles that exist with 5G, you can assure your customers that it's going to be a number of years before 5G hits the rural areas. If you are in a urban or suburban area where there is 5G, our boosters currently will not boost the 5G frequencies, but they will boost the 4G, which is what most of your phone calls will be done on, will be 4G. 5G right now will, for the most part, transmit only your internet speeds. And again, we are working on boosters that will boost that 5G frequency. We hope to have something soon.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dustin. Next question here for you. Can you tell us about the antennas that are outdoors, about them being, weatherproof or rust-proof?
Yep. Yes, definitely. I definitely can address that. All of SureCall's antennas are weather resistant and waterproof. We ensure and make sure that we use the best quality of material that will hold up under both extreme conditions, whether it's high heat, where we live near Las Vegas, where it can get 115, 120 degrees in the daytime, or just the opposite, cold, freezing, sub-zero temperatures. Our antennas are going to hold up under all those conditions. They are not only waterproof with the rain, but also in high humidity areas. They're going to hold up very, very well, and ensure that, again, the antenna is going to perform and last as long as possible. We do have a unique line of, this is kind of unrelated on a tangent, but I feel like I ought to mention it, and that is our marine antennas. Once you get out in the ocean, for example, where you have not only the humidity, but it's the salt water, we even have antennas that'll work well out there. It will hold up under the harsh conditions of the salt water. So yes, our antennas are all waterproof, and you do not need to worry about any kind of damage by any kind of weather.
Thank you so much for that, Dustin. Couple more questions for you. Do you have any devices that would work for both North America and internationally?
Currently, we do not. And the main reason is, if you look at internationally, there's so many different frequencies across the world and around the world where cell phone signal is being transmitted on. So that's the main thing. Right now, all of our boosters have what I referred to at the beginning as our 5-band technology. Right now in North America, even in Canada and Mexico, you're looking at most of all of the frequencies minus the 5G being transmitted on those 5 bands that our boosters cover. But once you go across seas to Europe or other places, they will use, although they're very close to the same frequencies, they're enough off where they are different. And to have one booster that covers it all, it would not only cost a lot of money, it'd be a very big booster in order to cover all of those different bands. So currently we do not. We are looking at a number of international options, and we're always, again, working to innovate and come up with something that will work across seas. We do have a couple of options now that we are looking into and working on that, again, along with the 5G booster, we hope to have available in the future.
Thank you so much, Dustin. Next question here for you. Can you tell us about where SureCall's products are manufactured?
Great question on that one. Before this year, all of our products were manufactured in China. We've switched that up, actually, starting at the end of last year. We started to switch that up. A lot of our components are still sourced from numerous places around the world, including China, Malaysia, a few of these other countries where we can get the easiest components. But now the final assembly, the final manufacturing is actually done here in the United States on most of our products. Some of our cables are still manufactured across seas, but on our boosters, again, the final assembly, the testing, that's all done at our Fremont, California headquarters.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dustin. Last question here for you. Regarding the contact information that you put up with your name and your number, is there a best time to reach you, or does that not really matter when someone may reach out to you for any support?
That doesn't really.
Okay.
Sure. No, that doesn't really matter. If you've got a question, please reach out. Even if it's a question on the weekend, you have a customer who's having some kind of, darn it, it's an emergency, they need help right now, always feel free to reach out to me, and I will respond as quickly as I possibly can, right? We want to make sure that you guys have the information you have or that you need, the tools you need to know which SureCall booster is the correct one for yourself or for your customer, as well as your customer receives the care and the service in a timely manner that they deserve and that they need. So there's no time that's better than another. If you ever have a question, don't feel like you need to hold off and wait until the next week. feel free to reach out right away.
Dustin, thank you so much for answering all those questions for us today. And also thank you to everyone for attending today's webinar. And if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to reach out to your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown here today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And please remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube channel so you can view it again. Dustin, thank you so much for all of your valuable information today. We greatly appreciate your time. Thank you to everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you everyone for attending today's webinar.
Thank you, Dustin.